Welcome back, y'all. Pokey Lambo here. Today, we are going to be going over the best sealed and singles that you should be trying to pick up this week if you're looking to pick something up at an affordable price. And we have to start it out, hopefully, for the last time, talking about Chaos Rising. So, fingers crossed for Monday or Tuesday. Now that perfect order is out of the way, it's crashed and burned, done its thing, and hopefully we can just move on with the pre-order of Chaos Rising and get our PC ETBs and the booster boxes if you're looking to pick that up. And first off, I still think that the Scarlet Violet Elite Trainer boxes with Miraidon and Koraidon are at a pretty good price here, just over $100. The set will be rotating out here pretty soon, so I could definitely see these going on a nice little run. And I'm a big fan of the legendaries of Scarlet and Violet, so I think that this is actually a fairly reasonable price. Granted, should have been picking these up a while ago, but with the ETBs, a lot of people didn't really care. The hobby wasn't booming at the time. I definitely wasn't picking up sealed like that. I was definitely invested and spending my money elsewhere. And coming into the hobby, I definitely think that this is a great pickup. And the Mew from Scarlet and Violet at around $80, $90. I think this definitely makes a lot of sense to pick up while it's coming down a little bit with the 151 all starting to pull back. I think right now is a great time to pick this up, and I think that it could definitely see some more of a run here in the next couple of years. And same with the Charmander here from Obsidian Flames. It's come down a little bit, nothing too crazy, but I think the $60 range is still a good time to pick it up. I could definitely see this thing running up over, into the $100, $150 range. So I don't think it'd be too bad of a place to park some of your money, especially with it being Charmander. And we also have the Mewtwo from Scarlet and Violet in the 151 UPC, and in that $40 range, I think it's a great time to pick it up. And same with the Mew, I think it could run over $100 at some point. And the Snorlax is kind of chilled back down to $20, and I think that's still a pretty reasonable price to pick it up, especially with the 151 ETBs debatably being short printed, and there might not be a ton of those floating around. So saw a pretty decent buy out there around $20, and they're just continuing to come down. And if 151 starts to go on a run again here in the next few months, you can definitely see this Snorlax start to go along with it. And I still really like this Ends Reshiram, and I think if you're able to pick it up below $20, still a good pickup. It hasn't done anything crazy. I mean, slowly going up, but I think below $20 when it comes to singles right now. I think the promos are good. There's just so much of the product being opened and graded right now that it's hard to find. And we just, I don't know, some of the SIRs and the IRs kind of scare me because I feel like there's just going to be such an insane amount of those singles floating around. So I'm definitely leaning more into the promos right now. And we also have the EV here, also under $20. And I think that under that $20 range is a pretty good place to be picking up EV at. And same with the Koraidon being under $10. I just think it'd be great to pick up like 10 of these if you can find really clean copies. Same with the Miraidon. I think that these legendaries are really good, and I think a lot of the kids and the generations coming up are going to really like Koraidon and Miraidon, especially in the games where you're able to ride the Pokemon. I think there's actually quite a bit of an attachment to these legendaries. So I think it's actually a pretty good thing to try to pick up and find clean copies of if you're able to find any. And the Blastoise from 151 has dropped down a good amount. I mean, it was up at 220 and just kind of keeps retracing there. And if you're able to pick it up for the 170, 150 range, I definitely would consider picking this up before 151 really starts to pump back up again. But I don't think it's one to like run out today and go by, but I think that with these 151 singles coming back down, if you felt like there were any that you missed out on, it could be a good opportunity to pick them up. And the Twilight Masquerade Elite Trainer boxes are still under $100, and I think that these are actually a pretty good buy, especially if you're able to get it under $80. And these would definitely be a long time hold, but I think that Greninja has kind of proved its value and popularity as a Pokemon. So I think right now, given the current market, these are actually a pretty decent pickup. I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but it's definitely one that is on my radar. And I don't know. I mean, with Surging Sparks getting a lot of a reprint, I don't know if Twilight Masquerade is going to see much more of one. If Pokemon's kind of just moved past and they're slowly making their way through Surging and then Prismatic and then hopefully start getting into Destined Rivals. And talking about reprints, we have Prismatic Evolutions, the SBC, still getting that rumored restock reprint, and we're starting to see trend down. So I mean, this is what makes boys into men, and start investing here at 350, 320. I'm definitely going to try, if it goes down anymore, to maybe possibly trade one of my booster boxes from Phantasmal Flames possibly for one of these. So we'll see. The Phantasmal booster box, I believe, has surpassed this, but I just think this is such a good product that it's worth holding on to. And with Phantasmal booster boxes, I feel like it's going to get a decent reprint at some point. And same with the Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. I wasn't hoping. I mean, like, I was hoping that Pokemon would move on from Prismatic Elite Trainer boxes so they could start focusing on Destined Rivals booster boxes, which have run up over $200, which is absurd. But instead, they are continuing to push out the Elite Trainer boxes of Prismatic, and it sounds like Walmart got a pretty crazy restock there. So we're starting to see it drop pretty heavily, and I think that it's definitely, buy at the lows, and a lot of people are, and this could be the lowest it goes down to. If it drops down to 150, that definitely spikes the interest for me. But I think if you're one of those people that really likes Prismatic, I mean, this is another opportunity for you to snag some up if you're able to get a deal. And if a lot of scalpers are panic selling, I mean, maybe you can get it around that $150, $120 range. So definitely try to take advantage of it and ask around and check locally and see if people are unloading it. And we have these new promos from the Ascended Heroes. I think it was one of those collection boxes. And this one is under $20. And I think these ones are actually pretty cool. I like these a lot. Like, they capture what the megas used to look like. I wasn't a huge fan of the older mega cards, but I think with these full arts, they look pretty cool. And especially with it being like a comic style, I think if you're into binder collecting, that you could really go crazy with these. And obviously with the graded plays, could work out in the long run. But I think at this price, these are actually pretty good. And same with the Gardevoir. It's quite a bit cheaper. So I think picking these up isn't a bad idea, especially when you're in that $10, $20 range. And same with Oricorio, it's almost down to $10, and I definitely think at $10, Oricorio's worth picking up because I think it's one that you could see it eventually run up to $30. You know, it might take a long time, but I think that like in person, I started putting my Oricorios in a binder, and it actually looks awesome, especially with some of my full art Charizards. So I think this is one that in the long run it's going to do really well, but we're going to see it go pretty low. But I don't know, those UPCs, the Charizard X ones, they're being hoarded like crazy. So I don't know how many of them are getting opened. So we'll definitely have to see once we get more of the pop on the Oricorios to kind of judge if they're being opened up or just stored away for who knows how long. And we also have the new partner Pokemon, and the Litten is underneath $10. And I think any of the partner starter Pokemon that are under $10 are a snap buy. You should really try to buy up as many of these as you can. I know that Litten isn't as popular, but I just feel like these cards are so good, and to pick them up under $10, especially if it's a clean copy, just feels like a no-brainer to me. And yeah, it might not be the Gen 1 or Gen 2, but I think they're definitely super valuable at this price. And same with Chimchar, he's under $10, and the Pop Leo. So I would definitely be looking at picking up any of the uh, partner Pokemon that are under $10. I'm not too stressed about it because I definitely think I could see a lot of these going down even more. But with these ones right now, this could be their low, and then we could see them start to run up. So it could be a good time. But I don't stress too much over singles. I really like opening most of my stuff, and I'm fine to wait, so I'm not like stressed. But if you have the money and you like to buy singles, I think you can't go wrong, even though they're not like the popular starters. And Charcadet from Phantasmal ETB at $2, I think is really crazy because Charcadet is actually one of my favorites from Scarlet and Violet. And my kids have been watching the new animated series, and Charcadet is actually one of those Pokemon that is kind of being heavily uh, featured in that show, and I think that it could go down as one of those popular Pokemon as kids start to grow up. And at $2, it's almost like for me guaranteed it's going to go up to at least 10 to 15 bucks. So at $2, I feel like buy up as many of these as you can find, especially clean copies. And even if they're not, I mean, it's just such a good Pokemon, and I think it'll perform well over the long run. And kind of the same thing with Alakazam. It's not the craziest, most popular Pokemon, but at $8, I think it's definitely one of those that it could start to see some movement at some point. And yeah, Alakazam does have that Gen 1 love. So I'm trying to pick up these. I just haven't been able to make it out to my LGS recently. And I've actually been fortunate enough to hit at Walmart and some other places. So I'm not kind of stressing over picking up much right now. And the Mega Lucario from the Mega set, it's starting to go up a little bit, but it's kind of just stagnated here at 150. And you definitely could be picking it up underneath 150. And I think that this one still is just criminally underrated because it's just a full on anime fight scene. And I think it's definitely outside of, your most popular Pokemon, it's one of the strongest SIRs. So still really trying to pick one up. I was hoping to make it to a card show on Tuesday, but unfortunately I'm not going to make it. So I'm going to have to wait, unfortunately, but really cool card. And now we're kind of getting to the big thing of the video, and that is perfect order. Now, we have the cases of the perfect order elite trainer boxes at $700 here. And the question is, how low are we going to see this thing go? And for me, if we really start to almost kiss that 400 for a case, I think I'm going to buy one, because as someone that enjoys collecting but then also wants to invest, I would feel like a hypocrite if I didn't invest in a sealed case of perfect order ETBs. If it hits MSRP, I can get a case for 400, and I'm seeing this product sit at Walmart. So for me, it's definitely something I'm keeping a close eye on, because at the end of the day, it's like, do you genuinely believe in Pokemon? And if you do, then you should be picking this up at $400 or below. Because at that point, I feel like you're really actually testing your belief in Pokemon. And the same thing goes for the booster box here. If it hits around $1,000, I think it's something that you should be seriously considering. Now, for me, I don't super intend on buying booster box cases just because of the price. Like, that's a lot of money for me just to put into one product or case. It's kind of beyond my risk tolerance right now, just with what I'm doing in life. But I think it's something that you really need to ask yourself. Are you willing to invest in something that everyone's telling you not to? Because that's what everyone was doing during Sword and Shield, and they're now making fun of all the new people coming in and investing only in the good stuff. But at the same time, are you willing to do the same plays that people were doing before investing was popular? So something to consider. And for me, I'm definitely considering investing into some of these sealed cases if they drop down to where I'm willing to invest in cases, which is at MSRP. So $400, if it happens, you're going to see me picking up a case of these. So let me know what you guys think. If even outside of the cases, are you going to start investing in perfect order? Because for me, I'm definitely not. But if I can get a case for MSRP, I'm definitely going to be snagging one. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Hope you have a good week and you're able to make some plays. And if you do make any plays or pickups, let me know. And yeah, and we'll see how low or high perfect order can go, or if this is going to blow up the market for the Pokemon cards. And you guys have a great week. Peace.